On this channel, we talk about anything and everything that is going to help you to raise your happiness level and to help you to become the very best person you can be. So welcome to Happy Stuff and Fluff. Now, if this is your first visit here, this is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to show an interview. It's different because it's someone interviewing me. Now, if you've ever wondered why someone like me tirelessly slaves away doing the work I do, it's one of the questions that I answer in this interview. And it's a lovely interview. You might find out something about me that you didn't know. So I hope you enjoy.
Welcome to the Author Spotlight Show, a platform dedicated to celebrating remarkable women who share their purpose and their passion to make a difference in this world. My name is Gail Watson. I'm founder and CEO of Women Speakers Association, a global community of women who use their voice to powerfully inspire others. Today, we're talking about a book that's just been released. It's called Voices of the 21st Century, Women Empowered Through Passion and Purpose. And this book is doing amazing things all over the world. It's #1 in 4 different countries and #1 in 11 different categories. This book features extraordinary women from various backgrounds and walks of life who share how their message has merged from their life experience. With passion and purpose, these stories are going to inspire you. They're going to break barriers for you and create that better future. These women in this book are a testament to the strength and collective voice of women in shaping the world in which they envision. So today we are speaking to the co-author of this amazing book, Voices of the 21st Century, Women Empowered Through Passion and Purpose. So please welcome to the show international best-selling author Christine L. Conroy.
Hi Gail. Hi, speaking from England on a very wet Friday evening, but full of the joys of spring anyway. And so delighted to be a part of this incredible book. I'm absolutely honoured to share this book with all the fabulous women from all over the world. I mean, that's the thing, from all over the world. It's just such a joy. And as I say, I feel incredibly honoured to be a part of it.
Fantastic. Well, incredibly honored to have you lead the way in this book. And what an accomplishment, #1 in 4 different countries. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
So let's dive in. Let's talk about what the story you share, because you definitely share your passion in this story, and you share quite a personal part of your life where you were cruising along, everything's going really, really well, and life is good, and then bam. So let's talk about what inspired you to share your story.
Yeah, well, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that's happened to, where you're coasting along in life, having a good time, and then all of a sudden something happens and your world's turned upside down. That probably happens more than once in a lifetime, but it certainly happened to me. And in the book, I share the story about my daughter, who passed away, who died from cancer. It's about 3 years ago now. But I also talk about my mother and my sister. All 3 of them died from cancer, but not before enduring all the pain and suffering that cancer, and of course its treatment, can often bring. So going through that experience and caring for all 3 of them, physically and emotionally, just taught us so much. Not just about dealing with trauma, but oddly enough, about happiness and what makes us happy and what doesn't. Also about achieving inner peace and acceptance, about dying well, but also about living well. That's what, that's a silver lining, shall we say, to this story. And I told the story, I called them my Conroy women, my sister, my mum, and my daughter. And in my book, Stitch Your Own Silver Linings, I outlined step by step how we helped each other with strategies to try and squeeze as much, should I say, well-being or happiness for ourselves that we could possibly do under such circumstances. I mean, there's no way of sugarcoating the fact that when you go through a traumatic experience of any kind, it's absolute hell. There's no two ways about it. And I wouldn't want to diminish any of the emotions that you go through when something happens unexpected like that. But I want to share with as many people as possible that you can prepare for trauma, and it impacts us all, personally and globally. You can prepare for it. You can move through it more easily, and you can grow from the experience. I mean, post-traumatic growth is well documented. So these lovely three women, my Conroy women, continue to inspire everything I do. That's the short version.
It's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, such significant loss in a short window of time, and especially loss with a daughter.
Yeah.
I mean, a child is got to be probably the worst, I would think. When you write that story, and I mean, it took a lot of courage, vulnerability to really share that personal side of you. What is it that you want a reader to really take away from that story?
So I've obviously given this a lot of thought because I speak to women. My audience is women, a few men, but mainly women. Okay, so the most profound discovery in psychology in the last 20 years is that human beings can choose the way they think. And to me, this is crucial. I mean, when something bad happens, you have to be very conscious about the way you think about the situation. Now, I'm not talking here about positive thinking. I'm talking about accurate thinking. So, for example, no catastrophizing, which is clearly not easy. So, I mean, in the early days when this was all happening to me and my family, I probably had thoughts such as, oh, my life is over. I'm never going to get through this. This is just awful. We're all going to hell in a handcart. And you get yourself in this catastrophizing mode. Being able to challenge that way of thinking really allowed me to be able to function properly in order to be the help that my family needed, and in order to be able to help them achieve the very best possible outcomes. So I would say, and you can learn to do this, you can learn to spot when you're catastrophizing. And people catastrophize all day, every day. They don't necessarily have to be going through trauma. But if you are that kind of person, when trauma does hit or adversity of any kind, you are going to struggle more with it.
Right.
So I think that's what I would like people to take away, that you can think differently to help yourself.
The power of thought. You're
Yes.
remarkable. You're absolutely remarkable with that. So, how does this whole experience for you? I mean, how is it showing up in your life, and what are you doing to help others? Because I know you do that. So,
Yeah. So when people hear about, this is why I think it's important to get your story out there. So for me personally, when people hear me talk, it encourages them to talk. And this is something else that's important, I think, is to be able to express honestly in a safe place or to a safe person what you're going through. And I love to teach. I'm I'm a qualified university lecturer many moons ago, but I love to teach, and everything I do, from teaching to public speaking, is about helping people to increase their happiness levels, and all of that is underpinned by the science of positive psychology. To be honest with you, most of the women I speak to and the audiences I speak to, they're okay. They don't have any kind of clinical illness of any kind. They're okay. They live reasonable lives, but they sense that there is something more. And there is. There is something more. You know, I don't want anybody listening to be having an okay kind of life. I want them to be flourishing and enjoying life. And a passion project for me is my YouTube channel, Happy Stuff and Fluff, where, oddly enough, I've just done a series on post-traumatic growth because it's dear to my heart. It's dear to my heart, this. But having a YouTube channel allows me to reach far more people than I would normally be able to do. And I absolutely love that.
That's fantastic. Now I'm just looking at your bookshelf. You have another book behind you.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
I'm always confused about when I'm on here, because
Yeah.
sometimes it's opposite, isn't it, where I'm pointing. This one is Stitch Your Own Silver Linings. And that came about because I think, you know, there are some things you might think don't have a silver lining. For example, I lost my daughter. How can there possibly be a silver lining to that? Fortunately, before Charlotte died, she knew about my way of thinking and all of my ideas. In fact, the night before she passed away, she was writing 3 things to be grateful for. That still gets me here. But and so Stitch Your Own Silver Linings is about, if there is no silver lining, you've got to make your own. You've got to do something that makes what happened to you make sense. Even if it's just going out and being kind to someone else. To me, that's a small silver lining that's made you do something. Something bad that's happened to you has made you do something good for someone else. And I think that's making your own silver linings, not just, you know, good things don't just come without a little bit of effort, I guess. So that was that book. That's why the title of that book. And as I say, I go into more detail, but Charlotte knew all of these ideas, and it was so warming and lovely to see her using these ideas and strategies to help her in the worst possible situation you could imagine. And I feel if she can do that, then, you know, so can I, and I can help others to do it too.
A powerhouse of women that you are surrounded with.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you wrote that book just after her passing?
Stitch Your Own Silver Linings was written before then.
Before? Okay.
So my mum and my sister both knew and helped me and encouraged me to write the book. And anything that I said that they didn't like, they told me about it. So they had a say in what I was saying and how I was going about it. But yeah, so Charlotte read that book, and it helped her for sure.
Beautiful, beautiful. Christine, I know I'm eager to get my hands on both your book. Where can we get a copy or copies of your books?
Well, the second edition of Silver Linings is coming out shortly, and Voices is on my website. I'm sorry, I've started to shorten that to Voices. When I talk about Voices, everybody knows what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this book. So it's on my website at christinelconroy.com. And when you buy it from the website, it's a personalised copy that I can sign for you. You could come and join us at Happy Stuff and Fluff. I would love that. We talk about anything and everything that might be preventing you from your own flourishing and happiness. So you could do that. And if you do come over, let me know where you've come from, and then we can Oh, there's some great conversations on there. Or you can contact me directly at christine@conroycoaching.com. I get tons of emails and I answer every single one. So please feel free to contact me directly if you would like a personal conversation about anything. That's perfectly fine.
That's very generous of you to offer that, because there are many broken hearts out there, or people sitting wondering what to do next. And the fact that you said, you know, um, stitch your way to your own silver
It's your
linings,
own silver linings. Yeah.
stitch your own silver linings. And that the fact that Charlotte read it while she was going through her transition and it helped her. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. So I would encourage anyone listening right now, uh, reach out to Christine, to her website. Links are attached below, and get a copy of her books. And also think about where you could buy one, gift one. If there's somebody that you know may be struggling with grief, there's a lot of grief out
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah.
give them that book. Let them know. Bring some joy and happiness into their life.
Yeah. I
Christine,
also think, sorry, Gail, the book Voices, the women and the stories, I mean, some of the stories in there are personal and no doubt difficult for them to write. But what it does is it shows, when you read that book, it would show you that, you know, when you're going through a bad time, you think that only you could possibly be going through this and nobody understands. And you read a book like that and you realize you are not alone. And whatever you're experiencing, someone's experienced it before you. And when you read a story that they've come through, it's inspirational, but it also helps you to change the way you're thinking, perhaps, about your own situation and helps you to move forward. I think that's the joy of the Voices Women Empowered Through Passion and Purpose book.
absolutely. You're absolutely right there that there is the many stories in there take you on a full spectrum of journey from
Yeah,
all over, women from all over the world. And I love that, is that you're not alone. So,
yeah.
and beautiful souls like you are gifted to our planet to really
Oh,
help us. I mean, you are an angel. You look like an angel. You are an angel.
oh, thank you. You've
You need
made my
some
day, my
wings.
evening, rather, should I say.
um,
Yeah,
Christine, I want to thank you for our conversation today. And
it's been a joy.
you have given so many great nuggets, so many great takeaways. Is there anything final that you'd like to leave with us today?
Well, I've talked about happiness a lot. And when I talk about happiness, I always have this definition in mind from the positive psychologist Sonia Lyubomirsky. And she said, happiness is living a flourishing and fulfilling life, experiencing positive emotions most of the time. Not all of the time, most of the time. Life is too short, I think, to live it any other way than happy. And by mastering your thoughts, you can think your way to flourishing and fulfillment. And that's what I'd like to leave you with. I lost you for a second there.
I just wanted to reiterate, it is the power of that thought that you give to us, that it doesn't cost anything to create that happiness. Life is too short to not be happy, and we create
Yeah,
that for ourselves with the guidance from somebody like you who's amazing.
thank you so much.
So thank you so much. Thank you for everything. Thank you for really opening your heart and sharing your story. It truly is beautiful.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
All right. And I want to thank our listeners today for joining us. And we want to wish you, wherever you are in this world, a really great day. Take care.
Oh, wasn't she just so kind? No one's ever called me an angel before, or indeed said that I look like one. Of course, she's going to be a friend for life. I do have to say, however, that my skin, you may have noticed or you may not have noticed, but my skin is looking a whole lot better. And that's because I've been changing my routine a little bit. In fact, I've been trying lots of new things to do with everything, not just my skincare, but makeup too. And I'm really enjoying it. And I was thinking, I talk on this channel a lot about the fact that moments of pleasure, small and often, are what get you through the day. And very often I do things that give me pleasure on any given day. And I think, oh, I should have had my camera. We might go somewhere and I think I should have had my camera with me and filmed this. However, hasn't really been the space for me to talk about those things within the subject matter that we talk about. And so I'm going to start a new series. I don't know why I didn't think of it before, because these moments of pleasure, small and often in my day, during the course of my day, might give you an idea to do the same thing, which would then give you pleasure too. So I'm going to start a new series. I'm not sure what I'll call it yet. I might call it my Happy Highlights or something along those lines, because of course we talk about happiness a lot. And it's probably only going to be about once a month. And don't worry, I'm still going to cover all the subjects that we talk about, for sure. Nothing would ever drag me away from doing that. But yes, I thought, as kind of fluff part of Happy Stuff and Fluff, I could perhaps film some of the places we go to and talk about the things that I'm doing that give me a little bit of joy over the course of my day. So I hope you'd look forward to that. Let me know down in the comments box below. And if you're not yet subscribed, please do so. And then you won't miss any moments of pleasure at all. Okay, thanks for being here and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.